Am I a hero or an anti-hero? Spoken word by Protest2Praise. Growing up, we all have people we've looked up to. People we put on pedestals, our role models, our heroes, wanting to be like them, to make a mark, a difference. Wanting to wear our own capes and stand tall, as heroes, not zeros. But then we realize we fall short. Our integrity is somewhat ambiguous. We are selfish, we are flawed, and we are just, well, only human. However, when I look at our Bible heroes, I see a mix of virtuous and flawed traits. I see a reflection of the complexity of our human nature displayed. I see a bunch of people with good ideals and intentions, but though their spirits are willing, their flesh is weak. Take, for example, Samson, given amazing strength by God to deliver the Israelites from the Philistines. Often giving in to his own personal desires, vendettas, lust, violence, impulsiveness, arrogance. Yet after all his misguided deeds, God still uses him in the end. In his final act of deliverance in Judges 16, he destroys the Philistine temple of Dagon, bringing destruction to the Philistine leaders, and ultimately demonstrating God's power for all to see. This is a clear-cut case of God turning our anti-hero into a hero. Let's take a look at King David, a man after God's heart, a devoted, humble, loyal, just leader, loved by the people. A courageous warrior fighting for God's cause. But he too fell victim to his own humanity. He gave in to his flesh and committed adultery and murder. Yet, God was able to use him to lead and unify Israel, to bring back the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, forgiving him and making him part of our Messiah's lineage. Who can be more heroic than this? A clear-cut case of zero to hero. And when we think of anti-heroes, we can't leave out Paul. Paul, who spent his misguided youth persecuting Christians, imprisoning and even killing them. Paul, who felt that Christians and Gentiles would dilute his Jewish beliefs. Paul, who God brought to his knees on the road to Damascus. Paul, who after his conversion became one of the most influential apostles, driven to spread the good news to Jews and Gentiles alike. Humbled to live among the early Christians and share meals with them, and ultimately willing to die for the gospel. Now, if he isn't an anti-hero turned hero, I don't know who is. The lives of these anti-heroes turned hero gives me hope. As one who is morally ambiguous, has questionable motivations, a flawed character, whose spirit may sometimes be willing to do God's will, but whose flesh inevitably fails me because I am, well, only human. I realize my humanity is not something to shy away from, that God can use my broken humanity and, in an instant, transform me, making me worthy of the things He assigns, driven to fulfill His will on earth, striving to be less of a zero and more of a hero. Have you ever been in a situation where you know what you ought to do, but the spirit was willing and the flesh was weak? But then, by the power of God, you were able to overcome your humanity and step out in faith as a hero, not a zero? Please leave me a comment below, as I would love to hear how God is transforming your life. We hope this spoken word spoke to you. Please like and subscribe to our channels on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram for more spoken words. Our handle is @Protest2Praise, or visit our Facebook page at Protest2Praise. Thank you for watching.